So today we're going to discuss something very, very important. Someone asked me a question. I was in a home lunch, like a business lunch, and the question the person asked me was this: how am I sure? That's after the presentation and everything. I just wanted to close down. And he asked me a question: how am I sure that this will not collapse? Like, I mean, they've seen network marketing businesses, and there's a possibility that there will be saturation. How will it happen if there's a saturation? That means you can't make money again. I smiled. And I said, I hear you. You're absolutely correct to feel that way if there's a saturation. But let me answer you the way, in the practical way. I told him that in 2016, when I started, AIM Global had already started in Nigeria in 2012. We just started in 2016. In that presentation hall, guys, listen to me. Somebody asked the same question, 2016. What if there's saturation? But I wasn't the one that asked that question. I was the one that made a decision to start. While somebody was asking that question, 5 years have passed. The person hasn't advanced. I have gotten to a place of abundance. So what does that tell you? There can never be saturation. So I wasn't answering from a point of view of theory. It was a practical point of view. So the same question you're asking today, somebody will walk and run with the business while you're still asking, what if there's saturation? 5 years later, that person is financially free and you're not. And the reason is, theoretically, there can be saturation. That is, if everybody's doing the business, so who are you going to connect? In reality, it can never happen. Theoretically, it can happen. Realistically, it can never happen because of the law of demographics. People die every day, people are born every day, right? So that's how life is. So, I mean, if you look at the NYC structure, Youth Service Corps structure, people are leaving the camps. Over hundreds of thousands of people are leaving camps on tens of thousands, not hundreds, tens, going to hundreds of thousands leaving batch camp every year. These are fresh people being pumped into the society, to the workforce that will never get a job. And those who were alive yesterday probably will make it today. So because of this law, there will never be saturation. Am I making myself clear, right? So you need to understand that. But then, why is it that some people also started with me in 2016 and they're nowhere to be found in the business? Because they didn't engage the principle that I'm about to teach you today, the understanding to build to last and not to build to make money. Remember the essence of this meeting. We are here to build to last. If you're here to make just money, that's okay. I won't convince you otherwise. I can only encourage you to look beyond just making money. You need to build something that will last for you and your family. That, remember that you used to have it is not convenient for the people around you. When you say that someone used to have money before, and so what about now? It's what you bring to the table today that matters. So if you have money, if you have a lot of money, I encourage you to build something that will last if you haven't done so already. So we're going to go into the meeting immediately. Good. All right, so how to build your business to last. How to build your business to last. If you're here and you want your business to last, go to the comment section and say, I want to build to last. You have to type it in full. I want to build to last. I want to build to last. Type in the comment section. I want to build to last. Okay. What if I showed you what it takes to build to last? Would that make any difference, or will you go back to what you used to do? I hope it does make a difference. Because in that same meeting, I asked the question, if you want in the next 2 years, if you want your life to change, can I see your hands up? A couple of people rose their hands. There was a lady that rose their hand, and I asked, so how much would be comfortable for you that if you're making every month in the next 2 years, it will be a praise galore for you? You'll be praising God all the time, that this is the amount I'm making every month in the next 2 years. I asked her, she raised her hand, she said, so how much? She said, 1 million. She didn't hesitate to say that. It's fantastic. So I'm going to prove whether you are really ready for that. So after the whole thing, and then the call to action was made, all right, if you want to take the mastermind mentorship slot, raise your hand. She didn't raise her hand. I said, why didn't you raise your hand? She said, let her think about it. I said, but you said you want to be making $1 million every month. Do you have anything you're doing currently that will help you make $1 million every month? She said, not really. I said, but I just showed you one. Why didn't you start? And she said one profound thing, that is money you used to make money. It's money you used to make money. So in her mind, she sounded politically correct. She has been hearing this over and over and over again from her broke father, from her broke mother, her broke neighbors, her broke siblings. She hears it every day. It has entered her subconscious mind, and truth be told, she thinks that word or statement is true. Nothing can be further from the truth. You don't need money to make. I used to believe that, actually. I have to be honest, because it was ingrained in my subconscious mind. And I'm sure that some of you, a large number of you, believe that you need money to make money. You don't. Most of the super rich people that you find on earth today didn't have rich fathers. People like Cosmos America, the owner of Coscheris. People like Grant Cardon's father wasn't a rich man. Grant Cardon is a multi-millionaire. I think he has entered the billion fold now. Jay-Z's father wasn't a rich man. Jay-Z is rich today. I could mention home and abroad. Obi Kubana doesn't have a rich father or rich parents. Today he's super rich. I don't have a rich father. Today I'm super rich. But there's something common, yes. There's something. Obi Kubana is super, super, super rich. Me, I'm super rich, amen? In fact, I'm super, super, super rich, because you have to mention these things. Ali Baba didn't have a rich father, but today he's rich. But if you look well, you see there's something common. In fact, when I said I want to be rich, I had to start thinking that there are certain things that the rich do, you have to also begin to do them, even though it's not convenient, it's not comfortable, it's not the things that you like to do in terms of discipline and sacrifice. See, rich people have a way they think. They think outside the box. All rich people, think about it. See, if you have any rich person close to you, forget about me. I might be, overrated amongst us. But if you have, because you know me, I speak to you all the time. So sometimes probably might think that I speak so that I'll convince you. I don't need to convince you. I'm just sharing my life stories and experiences. But if you have any rich person, rich uncle, rich neighbor that is close to you, bring them close and ask them a couple of questions. It will shock you to know how powerful they use their brains. So the phrase is not that you use money to make money. Who knows what you need to make money? Put it in the comment section. If you know what you need to make money, put it in the comment section. You need creativity actually to make money. Not knowledge per se, creativity. Some rich men say you need to be resourceful to make money. It's also the same thing. You need to be resourceful or creative to make money. Now, I told the lady how to raise money because in her mind, since I don't have money, let me think about it. And I told her, let me show you how the rich think. They think, how do I get this done? How do I get this done? The reason I'm going back to this basics is to show us it's foundational. Because I might show you a model on how to build your business to last. But if you negate these foundational principles, it will also be a struggle for you for a long time. So understand that you need creativity to what? You need creativity to make money. You need to be resourceful to make money. You don't necessarily need money to make money. If you have 10 people that make more money than you, write a letter of grant to all of them requesting for just 5,000 naira that you're going to pay them back in 39 working days. And if you make it official, write it in a letter, fold it and send it to them. Don't call them and ask them for 5,000 naira. Don't send them an SMS or a message or WhatsApp message. Make it official. Write it in an envelope. If they're not in your vicinity, post it to them. When they read it, they see letter of grant, and all you are asking for is 5,000 naira, whatever the dollar equivalent is. Then they're looking at it, oh, just 5,000 naira? Is that what you're making official? Like, I don't do this. Remember that in the letter, you have to, attach your bank details and your bank number so that once they see it, these people make more money than you. How much is 5,000 naira? 5,000 naira, and they will send it to you. Excuse me, you didn't have, and if you collect 5,000 naira from 10 people, that's 50,000 naira. The minimum startup point is just about that amount, 50,000 naira, and then you get to start your business. But hey, did you have money to start this business? No, you were creative, you were resourceful. That is the key, because what I'm about to show you here will activate your resourcefulness for you to begin to think of building last. All right, so I'm going to start with a story. Here you are with a scenario. All right, there's a town A and town B. Now these two towns have no water. All right, they lack water, they need water. And then you have two friends, James and Peter. And James and Peter have a unique thing about them. They think big. They want the big things out of life. I mean, they want to travel. They want to have their own homes, have exotic cars, give to the less privileged, go on vacations. I mean, this is the life that they want, the La Buena Vida lifestyle, living a good life. They want it, right? But then, in reality, this is their dream. This is what they want. But you see, whenever we want something big, life will bring us in fact, somebody says life, but I believe that it's God that orchestrates life to act on our behalf when we must have prayed. So in the midst of all their big dreams, there's something happening. In the reality, people need water in town A and town B, right? So they began to think as entrepreneurs, why don't we look for where to fetch water to these villages and make money? So they discovered a well that has water very far from the two towns, extremely far. So they said, you know what? We can actually begin to fetch water. And if we fetch, we'll distribute to these villagers. Per bucket that we fetch for them, they give us 1,000 naira. 1,000 naira, all right? For one bucket, they give us 1,000 naira. So James and Peter agreed. And beautiful business. That's how we start solving problems. When you have value, If you put value in the marketplace, you make money. It's as simple as that. Value is solution to problems, that's value. Value can be packaged. This water that they're delivering is value. So they, distribute it to the villagers because the villagers need water. They must pay for it. All right. So you don't pick money from anywhere. Anyways, now James and Peter begins to carry the bucket. So they carry one bucket every trip, and they make 1,000 naira. So and they do 50 buckets per week. So in a week, they carry 50 buckets in 1 week. So that means they make 50,000 naira per week because one bucket is 1,000 naira. Now that means in a month, they make 200,000 naira every month, right? Beautiful business. I mean, 200,000 every month for one, bucket of water, and then 50 buckets in a week. Now here's a good thing. While they were doing this, Peter begins to think building to last. And Peter said, let's build a system and earn profit for life. That's built to last, because they're doing the work, the hard work. Because, we're going to get old at some time. When can we, if we have a system, if we have a system, when we build that system, we can actually stop what we're doing and money continues to come. Do you know what James said? James said something like this. It will take time to build the system. I don't have the time. Do you want us to make more money? 200,000 naira we're making every month is good. But then if you want us to make more money, tell me, Peter, that you want us to make more money. Don't be talking about this system thing. It takes time, and I don't have that time. So something happened, guys. Peter began to draw out a plan to build a system around what they were doing. But James instead did something different. Now, James is likened to someone that runs a traditional business where you are in the E quadrant or the S quadrant. Now, the E quadrant is the employee quadrant. The S quadrant is the self-employed quadrant. What is peculiar about these people is they think, whatever I have to get done, I have to get done by myself. They're always thinking me. How can I get this done? How I'm going to do this? So the self-employed are the professionals, the specialists. The employee simply means you work for someone else. And this is where you have active income. Is that okay? Now, that is what James is thinking. That was what his father did, his mother, his uncles, that's what they're doing. So he's thinking in that line, and he just wants to make money. So let's take a deeper look into James' subsequent life progression, basically. So James in town A, making 200,000 every month, but then he said, I need to make more. So what does he do? He begins to carry more buckets. Instead of carrying one bucket, he carries 2 buckets, meaning that he's delivering 2 buckets, per week. Instead of making 200,000 every month, he's now making 400,000 every month because he's supplying 100 buckets of water per week instead of 50. So now he's making 400,000 per month. Bigger money? Yes, but bigger work. Now, he ran this for a couple of months and then months and then months, and then 2 years later, 400,000 every month is kind of cool. So what does James do? James buy a couple of plots of land somewhere in Abuja. 400,000 every month, that's cool money for a single person. And then he kind of hangs out because he's making a little bit more money right now. He hangs out with friends every weekend. Sometimes within the week he hangs out because he makes 400,000 every month. And he's not married yet. But then because he's making that money, people are beginning to whisper to him, guy, why don't you go get married? He said, hold on, let me get a good apartment. He rents an apartment, and the next thing he gets, a small Toyota car to move him around. Not super expensive, but then, Tokumbo, very neat Tokumbo. And the next thing we hear is tam, tam, tanam, tam, tam, tana. See this lady in the brown top, yes, James married her. Such is life and romance. Because whenever there's money, there's always the ladies that will look at you if you're a guy. If you're a lady, if you have money, there's also a level of stability you have. But anyways, James got married and everything was sweet. And the next thing we found out was, poof, the first baby came out. Poof, the second baby came out. Poof, the third baby came out. But then something happened. Life happened. So 10 years later, right? Now, guys, all these things are happening in time. Everything is working together for good for James at the moment, but there always comes a time when life happens. It happens to every human being on earth. Life must happen. The only people that life don't happen to are dead people. So James is still alive, so life happens to him. Now, for some people, it might happen sooner. For some people, it will happen later, but it does happen, right? For instance, life just happened to Barrister Ebi this morning. Just lost a mom. He didn't prepare for it. He didn't think about it. It just happened. Boom. That's a big blow for him. All right. That's what we're talking about. Life just happened to him. So for James, life happened. What happened? He went to the doctor and they diagnosed him of serious health issues because of the trips, the distance he's been carrying these buckets of water on a daily basis. He developed a serious health issue and he had to stop carrying the buckets. And in fact, for him to undergo a medical overhaul of his health, he has to pay 600,000 naira. That was his bill. Now, as if that's not enough, when life happens, I don't know why it happens like this. It's as if everything is happening almost at the same time. I don't know if you've noticed this. Anyways, just about the same time, his rent is due. That's 2.5 million. Remember, he has 3 kids. So he's living in a very lovely 4-bedroom apartment, all right, with boys' quarters. But now his rent is due just about the time he went to the doctor. And the doctor said, hey, you have to slow down with your work to get your health back together, but you still have to pay 600,000 naira for your medical bills. Rent is 2.5 million, just about at the same time, because it's not his own house. And the next thing is just about the time he's getting home, and they say your car couldn't move again. And then you call your mechanic, and your mechanic says the engine don't knock, and you have to pay 300,000 naira to get a new engine. Aha. And while the mechanic is talking that you have to change your engine organ, and even the plugs are bad, he gets a call from home, and the wife is telling him that the principal of your children came to the house just to announce that the school fees have been increased to 750,000 naira for all of the kids. Your kids are not yet in private schools, but then they're in good schools, and there are 3 of them. So total, everything is 750,000 naira. Just about the same time everything is happening. So to James has a total burden of 4.1 million to clear. And he's still stuck with his 400K per month income, which has stopped because the doctor said if you continue, you're going to break down. So he has stopped, literally. So money is not coming in again. And he has 4.15 million naira to pay. So that's James' life till this moment, all right? It's very, very bad. Then let's take a look at what's happening to Peter, all right, quickly. So let's drive to downtown B. You see, Peter, let's go back to, when they made that decision. This was James 10 years later, but let's go back to Peter. What was his own trajectory before life happened to Peter? So Peter was thinking about what? Building to last, right? Somebody go to the comment section and say building to last. Come on now, type it, build to last, sorry, build to last, build to last. Type in the comment section, build to last. Somebody saying, ball, I'd be like bicycle. All right, build to last, fantastic, good. I saw that you are on the same page. Now stay with me, guys. This is what Peter did. Peter began to think about, how do I build a system around what we're doing? So he said, this well of water is very far from these towns. And this trip I'm moving, one day I'll be tired, I'll be older, I can't do that work again, just like it happens to some mechanics. So although mechanics are in self-employed quadrant, or some lawyers, what if you're sick? That means money stops coming in. Even as an employee, And what if they sack you? Money stops coming in. If you're sick, money stops coming in. They stop paying your salary if you don't report to work at a particular time. So why don't I build a system? So what he thought was, I don't have the capacity to draw water from this well to this town. So let me partner with a big company. So he partners with a big company that has the money, all right, and tells them, hey, come to this area and put up a tank, all right, and build a pipeline. I will mobilize the town people to buy this water from you. And normally they buy for 1,000 naira per bucket, all right? But I'll be releasing 100 naira to you. But I'm going to mobilize. Now, he needs to mobilize. The town people are there. So he does that deal with these partners. And the partner said, no problem, I'm going to build a pipeline, drawing water from here to the tank. But then you have to fetch from the tank because the tank is closer to the town and then deliver to them. Peter says, no problem. He's still going to deliver to these people, but he doesn't need to walk as far as where the well is. So, but what does he do? As a creative person, he now says, instead of carrying the buckets from this huge tank to the villagers, because there's no way to attach a pipe to the town B because the ground is rocky. So you can't bust through a pipe. So what does Peter do? He's being creative. He goes to recruit 1,000 people. He recruits 1,000 people who will be carrying buckets from the tank to the people, and the people will still be paying the same 1,000 naira per bucket. But all Peter is asking is, give me 200 naira from your 1,000 naira. I will give 100 naira to my partners and I'll take 100 naira. You guys enjoy 800 naira. Wow. Now these guys don't have access to the partners. They'll be excited. So every day, these 1,000 people reimburse 100 naira each to Peter. Let's forget about the 100 naira. That one goes to the company. But then Peter is now making how much? Peter is making a open sum of 100 naira times 1,000. That is 100,000 naira every day. Because these people carry the buckets every day, they supply and they make 1,000 naira and they reimburse 100 naira to Peter. That's all he is asking for because Peter gave them the enabling environment. Beautiful, what? 100,000 every day. But how much were they making before then? James and Peter, they were making only 200,000 in a month. Now, are you understanding a little bit the power of leverage, guys? You see, when you leverage, you make more money than the hardest worker on earth when you leverage. When they were working themselves, they were making 200,000 every month, not every week, every month. But because this guy was creative and he leveraged on other people's efforts and time, he's now making 100,000 every day without doing any work. All he does is supervise. Come on, guys. Let's think about it for a second. Now, 100,000 every day, beautiful money, the kind of money that will make the devil envy you, right? But then life happens to Peter because Peter is making 2.8 million every month. But when life happens, Peter is subjected to, the hospital bed. Life basically happened. But while he was in the hospital bed, just like almost it happened to James, but his own illness was a bit different. I think it was coronavirus that happened to Peter. One of his trips to supervise. So one of those boys, I think they had coronavirus. So it wasn't out of the fact that he was working hard, that he's ill. I think it's coronavirus, yes, because his temperature got up. So he had to be quarantined. So on his quarantine bed, ladies and gentlemen, he's still making 100,000 every day. even when life happened to him. He's still making 100,000 because these workers, these partners, these 1,000 people are hardcore. Their immune system is super high. They don't care about coronavirus. They are still carrying the buckets. They are still 100%. You know, maybe because Peter stopped working really hard, his immune system kind of dropped. And then he caught coronavirus. But these guys don't have coronavirus and they keep working. And Peter keeps making 100,000 naira every day. So let's tie it down. Let's go back to town A, all right? Now, we go back to town A. James is depressed because he's not making money. He can't work. He can't deliver water to town A guys. And town A guys still need water. So what happens? I mean, after 14 days quarantine, Peter is all, boom, he's back up in by himself. And he decides to pay James a visit. And then he comes to see James. James, hey, how you doing? And James is not really feeling really good. And he says, how much is your hospital bill? He says 600,000 naira. Peter gives James 600,000 naira to at least take care of your health, young man. But the doctor says to James, even though we treat you, you need to abstain from work, this kind of work you do, carrying buckets, look for another thing to do. So James is out of work. But what does Peter do? Peter comes to town A, realizes there's a need. What does he do? He brings his partners to town A, puts up another tank, puts a pipeline there, and recruits another 1,000 people. And the same thing begins to happen in town A, and Peter begins to make 100,000 naira every day from town A. Remember that he's also making 100,000 every day, still making that from town B. So guys, here's the deal. This is called leverage passive income. If you want to build to last, you're thinking of leverage passive income if you want to build to last and have a good life. Now, this is the kind of money that I said it that makes the devil envy you. Because the truth of the matter is, in town A and from town B, what this guy is making is 5.6 million without work. So at this point, he can now begin to deal in other things, stocks, bonds, forex, gold, cryptocurrency, if he wants to do that, real estate, gives to charity. There's money everywhere. He looks for town C and does the same thing, looks for town D. And at that time, you're saying that, oh, this guy has multiple streams of income, but it started with one stream. Aha, that's what I'm going to. You can't build to last if you diverge your energy. You build to last by starting with one, building a system, the first system, then expand to another place, then expand and expand and expand, and boom. And everybody thinks that you're doing multiple, because at the time he's dealing in gold, he's dealing in forex, he's doing cryptocurrency. If cryptocurrency falls down or closes up, he doesn't feel it because he's making 5.6 million already through a system. If the stock market goes crash, boom, he doesn't feel it. He's making 5.6 million residual already. Now, if the stock market goes up, he makes more money, right? If the cryptocurrency goes up, he makes more money. If the real estate deals go up, he makes more money. So everybody's saying that this guy is blessed. Yes, including you, you're blessed. But the only thing is that he uses blessing to his advantage by being creative and resourceful to think about system. So what you see here, bringing the 5.6 million is called a system. So let's dissect it quickly. If you want to build to last, you must build a system. So let's dissect what is a system. Now, a system, excuse me, is what leads you to passive income, where you don't have to work and the money continues to come. But what is a system? Factors to consider to build a system. Some of us know this, some of us don't. Now, to build a system, you have to have partners, you have to have value, you have to have leverage. You have to partner, you can't do it alone. Some people might want to attempt to do it alone, but it takes time. You make a lot of mistakes, you don't have the funds, you don't have the capital, so partner. Now, you must have value. There has got to be value that the market desires. So in this scenario, water. Then you have to have a lot of people working for you or working with you so that you can leverage from their time, and all this total together gives you a system. Aha. Now, let's bring it home. In what we do we have such? Yes, we do. We have access to a system. We already have a partner and part consumerism. Well trusted is a global business structure, making sure that our business continues for life globally. So the partner is there. Do we have the value? Oh, yes. In fact, we don't even have to manufacture the value. We don't even have to go and fetch the water. The value is created for us by our partners. Powerful products that people need. Powerful value in products that people need on a daily basis. Not sometimes, just like that water. People need these products every day. You see, the reason why Peter continues to make money on a daily basis is because those villages need that item, that value, water, every day. If they needed that item once in 2 months, maybe like electronics, maybe like TV, all right? They buy the latest TV, they don't buy again until another 2-3 years. Peter wouldn't be financially free by now. It has to be the value you push out in the marketplace has got to be a reusable, daily repeat use items of value. Remember that. We have that already. Then the last thing is leverage. And that is what you don't have. So do you know what happened to Peter? When Peter and James were carrying buckets, did he have access to people? No, they were doing it alone. Just like most of you, you are making money alone as I speak to you now. A number of you, I mean, for new people and some old people. The reason you're struggling in life is because you're doing it alone. You can't make much. You can't even amount to much. So what did Peter do? Let's learn from Peter. Peter became resourceful and creative, and he recruited 1,000 people. Aha. So the people won't appear from nowhere. You need to recruit. Aha. You need to connect. Aha. You need to sponsor. I love this part, guys, because that brings power to us. But hey, let's dissect these people. Let's dissect, okay? Because this is the only factor that is within our purview. Our partner, but you don't need to go and look for the partner. We already have them. The value is already there. So the only work we need to do is to connect people in what we do, right? So let's dissect it. Now, how to build your people. First of all, you connect your people, all right? We have the systems, we have the tools to make that happen, especially for new guys. Number 2, you train and empower your people. Number 3, you lead your people to profit. Number 4, then you will profit indefinitely. So there's a progression to making sure that you build your people. There are 4 steps to making sure that you build your people. Number 1, you connect your people. You have to connect them. You have to recruit them. Now, after recruiting them, what next? You have to train and empower them. Because I'm going to explain to you what happens and why people don't get past that level of building to last. They recruit people. Yes, they do. But what happens? They abandon those people. They don't get to the stage 2. All right? So you have to recruit, you have to train and empower them. Anybody you recruit, if you recruit 1,000 people, you have to be patient enough to make sure that you train and empower them. And then they're empowered, all right? So you have to also watch them profit because you're not using them. Leverage is using other people's time and money, right? That's the fundamental definition. But in the business we do, practically, we don't use people. Yes, we build people. If you use people, you make money for a season and that money disappears. But if you build people, you make money for life. Why? And what does it take to build them? Train and empower, lead them to profit, then you profit indefinitely. So when you empower them, also watch and make sure that they're making money. And once they begin to make money, these things are difficult, but let me show you how to break it and make it easier for you. For you to build people, you must be a leader. So let me show you what happens in terms of building people. I'm going to draw it out so you have a better understanding, all right, before we close. I hope you're getting value so far, all right? So let's consider someone like James, okay? And this is Peter. So now the question is, no, let's not use Peter. Let's use you, okay? This is you. So this is James. Now let's assume that James, someone like James, wants to build a system, all right? And James is ill. So the doctor says, hey, James, you can't carry buckets again. Look for another business. So he was introduced to this kind of business. And he was told that if you want to build a system like your friend Peter, that you can do it in this business. So James, super excited. James is finally, I am going to be like Peter. All right, finally, I'm going to be like Peter. But what the problem with James is that James is still remembering that he's owing rent, he's owing school fees, he's owing to get an engine for his car. So what does James do? James comes to build people or recruit people in this business because he was told that partnership has been taken care of, value has been taken care of, you just need to connect people. So James wants to connect people and James wants to do it fast. So James decides to connect 1,000 people. That's what Peter did. I need 1,000 people in this business. So what does James do? So James recruits number 1 person, number 2 person, number 3, number 4, number 5. James is on fire because he's remembering the amount he needs to pay out in debt. He recruits number 6, he recruits number 7, number 8, number 9, number 10, number 11, number 12, and James is going on fire. This is month 1. Month 1. And then month 2, James enters another mode. Boom, he recruits person 13, person 14, person 15. He is recruiting person 16, person 17, person 18. Woo! James is on ridiculous fire. Person 19, person 20, person 21, person 22, person 23, woo! Person 24. Now, remember in month 1, James made some money by recruiting these 12 people. But in month 2, he recruits another set of people, but all the people in month 1 are dead. Who knows why? Because he didn't build them, he only recruited them. But then, no problem, he's going to make money from the people he recruited in month 2. He's going to make some money, all right? But in month 3, remember he's looking for 1,000 people. He continues his recruiting, but the people in month 2 are dead. But he will make money in month 3 because of the people he will recruit. Hold on. This is like what James used to do, carrying buckets, me, myself, and I. He's only thinking about himself. James will never be financially free, even though he appears to be working in a system, but he will never be financially free. Yes, sir. But let's see what you would do differently. What is it that you do differently? Now, this is you, all right? But you're smart. And you decide to use a principle in this business. And you understand that you actually don't need 1,000 people, though. You only need to duplicate. So what do? You connect 4 people. Now, guys, I want you to stay with me here because this is extremely important. So you connect 4 people, all right? Connect 4 people and then build 4 people. Connect and build. Now, your 4 people also want to be want to build their own systems. You're not using them. You're teaching them how to become financially free. So in month 2, so month 1, month 2, your 4 people connect 4 each. So that's 16. And they also do to them what you did to your 4. So your 4 learns that you don't only need to connect, you also need to build your people. So they also build. Month 3. These 16 people connect 4 each. And that is what? 64. They build. All right? 64 connects 4 people. That is what? 256. 256. They build. 256 connects 4 people. That is what? 1024. They build. Hold on. This is highly systematic. Remember that James was looking for 1,000 people, right? But here you have 1,024 people plus 256 plus 64 people plus 16 people plus what? Plus 4. That means you already have a total of what? 1,364 people. My goodness. Meanwhile, you only connected 4. Here's the magic. The magic is whatever these 4 people, 16 people, 64 people, 256 people, 1,024 people, whatever they do, you are making some percentage for life. Just like Peter's 100 naira, you are making some percentage for life. You're making some percentage for life. That money continues to come to you because you engaged a system of building people. You don't need to bother about partnership, it's already done. You don't need to bother about value, it's already done. You need to bother on building people. And you will not be making 1 million from each person. No, you're just making 5%, 10%, 20%, 5, 1, 2, 3, 4%. Little from these numbers, boom, it's entering your account on a daily basis. When you multiply everything together, we're talking about 5, 10 million, 20 million every single month. Depending on now, if you're now a businessman, what you now do, you now come to this side, this line is already working. You now build another set of 4 people. This is you. You build another set, you start again, build another set of 4 people, all right? Build them. Then these 4, teach them how to get 4, and that's 16. You build them, and that's what? 64. And guess what? In your second or your third year, you have another line of new 4 people. In the third year, that means you're going to town B. Come on now. You are now in town B. Then in third or fourth year, you open up another 4 people. That's another town. Now, depending on you, why am I saying 4 years? Why can't you do that in your third month? Because there's a possibility that this your first town, this your first set of people have not grown properly yet. I'm dissecting it. All right, I don't want to complicate it, but this is the mindset you have to have. So once, how do you know? How do you leave this side? So let me clear this and now show you how to know that you have built this side. Okay? How do you know that? Now, it is when you sponsor, let's assume from that 4, let's take 1 out. So you sponsored IK. and you have helped IK sponsor 1 level, 2 levels, or the 2nd level, and then the 3rd level. 3 levels deep. So IK, you've helped IK, you've watched IK sponsor this person. And you told IK, oh yeah, IK, teach 1 what I taught you. So 1 teaches 2. And IK teaches 1 because you taught IK how to get 1, right? Then IK teaches 1 how to get 2 successfully. And then IK tells 1, this is how it works. So I want you to teach 2 how to duplicate. Then 1 says, no problem, IK, I'm going to do that. So 1 teaches 2 and 2 connects 3. This line is built. Then remember that you have IK, Chidi, Paul, and Aisha. So assuming they are your 4 people. So you have to do the same thing to Chidi. Help him to sponsor 3 levels deep. Help Paul to sponsor 3 levels deep. And help who? Aisha to sponsor 3 levels deep. You have built them. Don't worry, the 1,000, it will get to 1,000. Trust me. It happened to me. I'm not telling you what I read in the books. It happened to me. So you can now go ahead after you have built IK, Chidi, Paul, and Aisha. You can now select another set of 4 people and then build them. Then next year, you select another set of 4 people and build them. Then you're now skilled. At this time, you are skilled. So maybe 3 years later, 4 years later, you can now do that in 3 months. You now select another set of 4 people. In 3 months, you build them. 3 months. After 3 months, you select another set of 4 people, you build them. What are you doing? You are opening up towns, different towns. And before you know it, you have access to 10,000 people, 5,000 people, and you're making little money from all of them. And there's money everywhere. You can now begin to make real estate deals, Forex deals, investment deals, because your money is tight. That's number 1. Number 2, all of these people you're building, remember that they're making money. So you're not using them. That they are built means they're making money, because for IK to connect 1, IK will make money. If 1 connects 2, IK will still make money. If 2 connects 3, IK will still make money. So, and all of these people, of course, if 2 connects 3, 2 will still make money. So everybody's making money in the team. So, but then it's from that nobody's lacking in the team. Nobody's being used because everybody's being built properly. But do you know what happens? James won't do this because he tells you, I have money, I need to make money, I'm owing people. So he doesn't have that patience to build people, and he's still suffering today. But look at me, 5 years later, I'm making super money and I'm advancing because I'm getting new sets of 4 people and I'm building them. So if you want to build to last, you already have the system, you already have the value, just build. So I've spoken in vague terms. Now, how exactly do you need to build in this business? How exactly do you need to, what do you need to tell them? What do they need to know? What does Aisha, Paul, Chima, and IK, what do they need to know? Because you're new. So what you're going to tell them is very simple. It's extremely simple. SMO. That is the beginning part. Now, help them to rise the ranks. Show them the ranks. Let them aspire to rise the ranks, because the more you advance, the more you get recognized. The more you get recognized, the more relevant you become to people around you. The more relevant you become, the more easy it is for you to connect other people. All right. Uh-oh. So that being said, this is exactly how to build to last.